Our community has been here around the millennium. We're known as one of the oldest continuously inhabited communities in North America. The land is soaked in prayer. The land is our mother. The water is our mother. The seeds are mothers. The corn are our mothers. So all of these beings that are life-giving, I love these lands more than anything.
We, as Pueblo people, are called to tend those lands. We're called to steward them, feed them, take care of them.
Rather than economy based on currency, it's an economy based on love and care for each other. If we don't support each other, we're not going to make it here.
I think there's a fundamental difference when we look at water as a cultural resource versus a commodity. We are in relationship with water. Water, it is fundamental to every issue that we face, not just here as a tribal community, but statewide. Acoma is located about an hour west of Albuquerque. We sit in the valley of what is referred to commonly as Mount Taylor. In Acoma, we know the mountain as Coeshtima.
Coeshtima has always been a landmark to tell when planting season was to begin. Those landmarks that we used to rely upon, they're not accurate anymore. We also worry about the amount of rain we receive.
Those westerly rainstorms that we expect have not been arriving. They've been arriving very light, very sparse, and very late.
It's scary for a lot of us. When there's no rain, the land gets sick and the animals get sick. Feeling almost like empathy for the land and feeling almost sick alongside with it. In regards to an increase in aridity and shortages of water, it's always the land-based people that suffer the most. The people that rely on the rainwaters, the river waters, the acequias, the ditches to feed and nourish their crops and provide food locally here.
Unlike other communities or families who can pick up and move their family, we don't have the benefit of moving. We are here. Our pueblo, like many other tribal communities across the country, lacks basic infrastructure. There are families, communities that when they turn on that tap, nothing comes out anymore. The funding for those types of water systems exists within a bureaucracy that is difficult to navigate. A focus really needs to go to those tribal communities, those rural communities that need the access to resources now. When we say we don't have time to address the issue of water, we are basically saying we don't have time to address the issue of being alive. I don't know that we have caught the attention of the decision makers to the level that it needs to be to underscore that urgency. The only way to understand what the urgency is not from behind the desk, but it is to spend time on the land, to touch feet to earth, to see what our people are talking about. And it's going to be people with those deepest ties to the land that have some of the strongest knowledge about how to use, how to conserve, how to protect that resource.
Our ancestors really valued the kachanish, the rainwater, and they would capture it anywhere they could, utilizing these areas where moisture is plentiful in the ground from the runoff from snowmelt and rainwater. I think about that a lot now in these days and how we reincorporate that into our practices here.
And this isn't stuff of legend, of folklore, of myth. This is wisdom and science in its purest form. What we need is for the decision makers to also listen to that wisdom. We can teach our younger generations, we can teach our communities how to conserve that resource, how to recycle that water, how to capture the runoff from the summer rains when they do come. It can be done. We really need to elevate and empower and include their voice into that decision-making process.
I have a nephew. He's 5 years old now. And I constantly think, what kind of future are you gonna have, especially when it comes to living on this land sustainably? Are you gonna be able to continue to play in the waters and the ditches when I irrigate my field? Are you going to be able to enjoy those fresh melons from the field that you love so much? Are you going to be able to have that blue corn porridge that you like so much, you know? I know that there's hope there.
Water can't wait.
Water can't wait.